Okay, and we're back with the finals of GP Caracas. Both players had fought long and hard to get here. So we have Scribble versus Wizzerinus. Wizzerinus is on four-color equipment, Kalen, and Scribble is on black-red Attrition. We've seen what both decks could do in the previous rounds, and it's going to be a close fight. I don't think either deck is super favored here. And Scribble keeps a hand with turn 1 Stolen Secrets, and it's a more. Actually, it is a pretty good hand. It has Stolen Secrets and then a bunch of looting effects, or I guess rummaging effects. Wizzerinus has a hand with 5 lands and 2 spells, and their only other spell isn't even proactive. So I guess Wizzerinus kept purely to get the turn 1 pay up or something. So Scribble draws, and they're probably, they're going to go turn 1 Stolen Secrets. Or no, they're going for a Surreal Flamebinder. And Wizzard's matches Ross scoring cohort, so yeah, they're getting kind of bailed out here after their questionable keep. And okay, so it seems like Scribble used Madden Inferno to discard Dust Lieutenant. They still haven't drawn an Ambitious Necromancer though, so I guess they're hoping to draw Ambitious Necromancer so that they can reanimate Dust Lieutenant later. Wizzardus gets to play Dawson on 3. So yeah, despite keeping a 5 land hand, they've been drawing spells the whole game. And they're going to +1 Dawson. So Scribble. So they do top deck Ambitious Necromancer, which is a really good draw for them because now they can Ambitious Necromancer and Stolen Secrets to reanimate Dust Lieutenant. Still though, I guess they're stuck on 2 lands, which isn't a huge problem because they can go for it. They can still go for an Ambitious Necromancer Stolen Secrets play, but they can't hardcast their own Dust Lieutenant afterwards, and the Rogars. So maybe Scribble kind of wishes that they had Profane Emissary down earlier so that Profane Emissary could fetch a land this turn. No, Scribble is thinking about what to do. I feel like the obvious choice is just Ambitious Necromancer, Stolen Secrets, reanimate Dust Lieutenant. And Scribble has Stolen Secreted before, so they know what's in Wizzerinus' hand, so if they want to place it safe, they can just name Artifact and Snagged Equipment. Well, actually, no, have they hand attacked before? No, they haven't, right? They didn't go for turn 1 Stolen Secrets. And they're going to animate Rogar instead. And Rogar kills Sworn Cohort, which isn't the worst thing for Wizzerinus because now they get to fetch a legend. Okay, seeing how Wizzerinus reacted to that, maybe Scribble should be worried. What's Wizzerinus going to fetch here then? Oh, Barks? Oh yeah, they can go Deadly Harpoon Barks. And that's actually... Oh, huh, right. I guess Wizzerinus didn't realize that Scribble just gets to name whatever they took with Stolen Secrets right afterwards. And now Wizzerinus is back to where they started. Scribble decided to...
my Discord kind of just crashed there.
Okay, well, welcome to the call. We're in the middle of the game right now.
I did see that play, and I did think it was a good opportunity for Wiz to pick up the Barks. But unfortunately, the timing of Stolen Secrets means that it was very difficult for Wiz to keep Barks in their hand.
Yeah. Well, was Wizzerinus thinking about how Stolen Secrets would take the Barks? Because I definitely wasn't thinking about that.
Possible.
Wizzerinus uses Dawson to kill the Ambitious Necromancer. It's probably a good idea because Dust Lieutenant is still in the graveyard, and Rogar is also in the graveyard.
Up a 3rd land is very good. Yeah, it does open up the better half of their hand now.
They didn't even have to Profane Emissary for the land. So what, Dust Lieutenant? Yeah, just hardcast our Dust Lieutenant. So actually, Wizzerinus doesn't have Deadly Harpoon mana, right? Yeah, they don't have double black.
And Scribble can attack into the Dawson here to discard a card and trigger their Dusk Lieutenant.
Oh yeah, right. You can do that. Didn't realize that. Seems like
you probably want to get rid of the Flamebinder because it doesn't look like it's going to be doing much more in this hand.
Yeah, you can reanimate it with Parasitic Rebirth, although you're probably hitting Ambitious Necromancer with it. But yeah, it seems like Scribble's just toying with Wizzerinus at this point. They managed to Stolen Secrets, whatever Wizzerinus fetched off one cohort, and now they're using this Dawson against them.
Yeah, and Riz really wanted to resolve that Barks so they could stick the Deadly Harpoon under it. It's not really doing a whole lot in their hand right now.
Well, now I think about it, I don't think Wizzerinus had Deadly Harpoon mana even when they fetched Barks, right? I guess they had Flooded Depths in hand, so they could have fetched for black. I guess Wizzerinus decided to delay fetching for black because they're not playing Deadly Harpoon that turn.
Scribble opting to pay life instead of discarding a card to attack into the Dawson.
I guess Scribble doesn't realize they can self-trigger. Well, Wizzerinus draws another land.
I think it's okay for Scribble, though. They seem to be in a pretty good spot on board now. They have a bunch of good cards in their hand. They're going to put their worst one away to the Omen to draw something new, which will trigger the Dusk Lieutenant.
Yeah. Wizzerinus decides to do the first ability. I feel like Wizzerinus could have fetched black, played Deadly Harpoon, killed something, and then used Dawson's second +1 to kill something else with the Deadly Harpoon. But instead, they're discarding Scribble. I guess Wizzerinus is trying to win the attrition battle.
Opting to crack the land.
Oh yeah, they want Deadly Harpoon here.
Oh, that's an Ancient Dominion, that's right, yeah.
They technically could have also Nebula'd for black, but I guess they probably don't want to do that, because, well...
It gets more cards out of their deck.
Yeah, something deck thinning.
Something deck thinning.
And then the Dusk Lieutenant.
Picking another Dusk Lieutenant off the top is very good.
Scribble is just chaining Dusk Lieutenants into Dusk Lieutenants. And now
I think you just resolve it, yeah.
And the Omen's in play, so yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, on the bright side, Wizzerinus still has Dawson in play, and I don't think Scribble can kill it this turn.
Not this turn.
And also Dawson's second +1 can kill something on Scribble's side.
Yeah, you now have 2 artifacts that you can pitch to Lord Dawson's second ability, and that kills every target available in Scribble's deck.
Yeah.
Except for a pumped up emissary.
Well, I don't think Scribble's going to get time to pump up an emissary this game. But they decided to pitch Parasitic Rebirth instead of emissary, which is weird because Parasitic Rebirth would have can reanimate Vicious Necromancer, which lets Scribble get back more stuff from the graveyard. And they decided to keep Profane Emissary instead.
It's possible Scribble doesn't have enough good cards in their deck that they want to be resolving with a Necromancer on the field.
Yeah, maybe I guess.
Cards that can target, because both hands are empty now, so you kind of just don't want to draw any of your hand hate. I guess the exception would be if you want to pick up a Valdez.
Well, I mean, Ambitious Necromancer, even if you play discard for no card advantage, you still get to reanimate a 3-drop. So you can just keep getting back Dusk Lieutenants.
That is true.
Well, either ways, Wizzerinus drew Kaelin, so Kaelin Deadly Harpoon is going to probably take over the game in very short order.
Yeah.
And Scribble draws another land. So, yeah, maybe I feel like keeping... Actually, there's no targets for Parasitic Rebirth, right? On Wizzerinus' side currently. I mean...
No, Wizzerinus does not have any creatures on the battlefield, and as far as Scribble's aware, none in hand either.
Well, they can... So, I guess Parasitic Rebirth using only the second mode, is that, like, ever good? It's 3 mana Unearth for 1. I mean, really that's... Oh, never mind. They're right. They're getting ambushed.
I think in the block step, Kaelin bounces Rickard.
Isn't that... Wait, but that risks a discard. Does Wizzerinus want to risk a discard? Because, like, Dawson is sort of taking over the game right now. Wait,
I'm not sure it matters. Scribble seems to be... Yeah.
They've lost all of their morale and concedes.
Even if Wiz did make a play that leaves them vulnerable to discard, Scribble didn't have the discard in hand and lost all the morale and decided to pick up the game.
Okay, so looking at the sideboard, on Scribble's end, what do they even have? Nikal Skirmisher? Is that the only thing that they really have against Wizzerinus? Because Dawson's Negotiations, I don't think that hits enough.
No, Dawson's Negotiations doesn't gain enough value on any of the creatures in Wiz's deck.
Yeah. Doesn't even kill the Planeswalkers, right?
No, it doesn't. Because unless you... Yeah, no, because Barks will always put... It could kill Barks on some boards.
Yeah.
Wiz has enough 1-mana artifacts, and that Barks might just resolve as a 1-mana creature, or a 1-mana Planeswalker.
Yeah, but then I guess it's decent there. Anyways, on Wizzerinus' end, they have another Kaling to bring in, and they have another box to bring in, and a sealed
Very good
rift, and two sealed
options.
riftways too. So yeah, quite a good. Well, okay, the game has started already, so let's see.
Scribble taking the play, 2 lands, 3 pieces of hand hate, and one other 1-drop.
I mean, I would definitely keep this because like you don't
Yeah,
want to. Yeah,
the Flamebinder smooths your draw a lot. Valdez is a great card. You can stick it on its adventure very quickly,
yeah.
especially after you've used a different hand hate effect first, like Stolen Secrets, to get the information.
So is Scribble going for turn one Sabuto or turn one discard? Because well, I mean, I guess Scribble doesn't really want to go for turn one discard because there isn't really any urgency to discard Wizzerinus. They'd rather just wait, maybe.
Setting up the Flamebinder so that you can cast Fiery Temper for its madness cost seems like a great way to start the game.
Yeah. Well, they're going
It
for
looks like they are
discard,
going to go for the hand hates.
and they're going to Valdez
Yep.
first.
Naming low.
Oh, it hits Terraformer's Globe. That's actually really good because it makes Wizzerinus mana worse.
Does hit, yeah, exactly Terraformer's Globe.
Well, I mean, now Wizzerinus is going to answer in kind with the turn one Valdez. Wait, they're fetching. Are they going to
Touching
fetch a
with, yeah, fetch a
swamp?
basic.
I feel like that's wrong. Like it makes their mana worse. They needed to fetch planes there to play up Toddy. They should have just played Gloomclever. Oh wait, never mind. Gloomclever Step isn't the paying land. It's the check land.
Yeah, Gloomcover Step. Wiz definitely wants to be playing Valdez first to try to keep pace now that they've lost their Terraformer's Globe.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, this means that you are less likely to be able to play into the Toddy, but it still means that the rest of their hand, which is 2 drops with white in them, is still online.
yeah. So what you name literally doesn't matter, I guess. Or no, it prevents the Fiery Temper discard. Not like Scribble would ever take it, but Scribble gets a pitch of Stolen Secrets. And was there any comments on Scribble keeping the Stolen Secrets in? Like,
But they are going to pitch one.
yeah, well, I guess
Just
Wizzards
fine.
does run a pretty wide variety of card types, so Stolen Secrets is slightly worse, but they'll probably a decent card in this matchup just because it's discard, and like you can just Stolen Secrets after your opponent fetches something.
Profane Emissary on the top does probably change the way Scribble wants to play this turn.
Well, I mean, yeah, they just drop Profane Emissary and try and hope that survive. Wait, no, they're not going to do that. I feel like they should have dropped Profane Emissary, unless Scribble's explicitly trying to prevent a turn 2 one cohort.
That looks exactly like what they're doing. Scribble has named creature on the Stolen Secrets. They knew the majority of the contents of Wiz's hand from the previous Valdez spell.
Yeah.
They name creatures because they want to rip out that Sworn cohort. Too much of a problem for them to deal with. Make sure it doesn't hit the battlefield first.
So downhill for Wizards doesn't run any mana fixing artifacts though.
None that are also equipments.
I mean, I guess Wizards can fetch
Also,
that.
yeah, they find the Deathbits trophy just to make another discard. Scribble only has 2 cards in hand.
I mean,
This hits really hard.
They're pitching Fiery Temper here, right?
I would assume so. It sucks that you don't get to cast it, but there's not many good targets for it.
And I mean, Scribble's just looking to Profane Emissary next turn if nothing else happens. No, wait, they pitched Profane Emissary. I guess they want to get value off Sarudu.
I guess a Parasitic Rebirth off the top isn't castable right now with only 2 lands. It won't be castable if they decide to cast the Fire Temper on the Madness cost.
Oh, yes, they
are exiling it, and they do choose to cast it.
I mean, I feel like doing that over just plain down Emissary. Oh, I mean, at least Wizzerinus is also pretty low on lands right now. But they still get to cantrip.
It's possible that Scribble wants to play really aggressively because they know Wiz doesn't have mana to cast all of their spells.
Maybe. Wizzerinus decides to pass the turn holding up Journey's End. Well, I guess
didn't opt to cast. Yeah, the Journey's End is knowledge that Scribble has, deciding not to cast the Dawnhill Forge Master just to get a body on the board.
And also, Wizzards could have also played Explorer's Torch plus Valdez's Adventure and empty Scribble's hand. So maybe they're worried that Scribble's holding either an instant speed spell or a land to whiff the Valdez.
Or worse, a second copy of Fairy Temper.
Right. I mean, even if you've hit Fire Temper with Valdez, you're still alright. I mean,
Scribble had mana to cast it. You just throw it at their face.
it's like paying 1 black to bolt yourself. It's almost like Thoughtseize, but slightly worse.
It got a lot more worse.
Yeah.
But I see your point, especially when it comes down to like single and 1 and 2 card hands.
Well, they're going to wait. Are they hard casting Mad Inferno?
They are. That is 3 mana. In response, Journey's End targeting Saratu.
Well, I guess Wizzerinus doesn't want Scribble to loot. I guess.
Which is fine. It does give Scribble a scry before the Maddened Inferno trigger resolves, which
Mad Inferno is a leave the battlefield trigger,
more.
so it's not going to happen.
Oh, it is a leaves. You're right.
Yeah, it's a lot worse than I thought.
Well,
I mean, Scribble does have a 2/2 haster in play. I mean, that's like not nothing.
It seems Scribble saw another Saratu Flamebinder on the top of their library and decided to put it to the bottom, which
maybe they're just hoping to hit something with Parasitic Rebirth. I mean, they can just Parasitic Rebirth back. Oh, wait, Serena's bottom
targets.
Right.
Yeah, it was bottom to Journey's End.
It didn't actually die.
Oh, there goes the Parasitic Rebirth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Stolen Secrets naming. Well, how much does Scribble know about Wizzerinus' hand?
Scribble knows there's still a Toddy in the hand.
Okay, they're probably
doesn't know the other two, so name Planeswalker makes sense.
So do you snag Dawson or Toddy here? There's an argument to be made for both.
It really depends on the mana availability that Wiz has, whether or not it's easier to find the second white or the red source.
Well, Wizzerinus decides.
Chose Dawson, perhaps fearing the Dawson a little bit more.
Oof,
another Terraformer's Globe on the top is not going to help Wiz, but this Dawnhill Forge Master is going to trade favorably into the Maddened Inferno.
Well, maybe Scribble just wants to trade Maddened Inferno so that they can get to leave the battlefield trigger.
I expect as much. And a Nakato's Skirmisher off the top.
And Wizzerinus is just going
to trade. Card you're probably fine with discarding.
Yeah.
But you can cast it anyways. It will be relevant.
And there we go, there's Toddy. So maybe they should have discarded Toddy instead. I guess there's really no way to know.
There's no way to have known for sure. Finding a Sedate Tundra also turns on both these Terraformer's Globes, which you can start cycling out of your hand.
Right.
So even if Scribble did pick out the Toddy, then the Tundra means that you do just start getting able to cast Dawson on the next turn instead.
Yeah.
So Wiz can gain life on the Toddy here.
So they're going to make creatures.
But they're going to make the gnomes, yeah.
And now it's really annoying for Scribble to attack through.
Especially making those 2 gnomes every turn. Because that is a plus ability.
Well, not every turn. It's most turns. Until you start winning.
Well, Scribble wants to be on the attack.
And they're going to
back
the Cal
that's pretty good.
To kill Explorer's Torch. That feels really
because
desperate.
sacking the Skirmisher
right,
means that Toddy will no longer make the creatures.
That's actually really clever. I didn't realize that.
And then attack with the Inferno into Toddy.
I feel like they should have attacked it. Well, no, right, because Toddy can fetch a 2-drop, so Scribble doesn't want that happening.
Yeah.
But
also wanting to see if they can chip down Toddy.
So Valdez high, doesn't matter.
Yeah. It's just 2 Terraformers Globes in the hand. But it's 1 more card out of the hand and 1 more globe that they can't cycle.
No, funny enough, both players have 2 Valdezes hanging out on the adventure. So once either player starts drawing or draws their 4th land, I think the Valdezes are going to start coming down.
There's an argument to be made if you're Scribble to not play your Valdez immediately. Because that does mean that Toddy can start making more creatures.
Well, also, Wizzerinus or Scribble has no cards in hand, but Wizzerinus still has 2 cards in hand, so on the Valdez. And now Dawnhill swings in for 4. That's a huge amount of damage for a 2-drop. And there's another Maddened Inferno. So is Wizzerinus going to keep attacking here? I mean, they can code back Maddened Inferno to block so that they can actually let it die.
I think, you play both and you attack with both into the Toddy since the Dawnhill Forge Master is tapped.
Right, and that actually kills Toddy. And
that'll kill Toddy.
Doesn't have an answer to that.
if you're Scribble, you're totally fine taking 4 every turn because you theoretically outrace.
What the Terraformers
Well, the
Globe?
Terraformers Globe.
Well, at least
Yeah, because and Wiz respecting the clock, not wanting to go down an extra life. That doesn't. No, that should still. Am I misunderstanding? Shouldn't Sedate Tundra still do the damage?
did they not take the damage? Oh, wait, they use Terraformers Globe on State Tundra, and so
Yeah, it doesn't make it a basic. It just gives it a basic land type.
is that how it works? I'm actually not sure.
That's what I'm gonna go ask Cajun.
Yeah. Okay, seems like the judge call is over. So yeah, continue with the game. Oh, Regent's also watching now. So anyways, continue with the game. Wizzerinus has Kalen up. If Scribble swings here, then wait, oh yeah, right. They have so they're at 4 mana. They can start playing down Valdez's, but Wizzerinus has too many cards in hand. And they decide to play down the land before attacking with Madden Inferno. I feel like that's a mistake because oh wait, Madden Inferno doesn't require you to, yeah, right. You always draw the cards. It doesn't actually require you to discard a card to draw the cards.
That is a good point.
And when there's
I did expect it to be just like Minting Voice.
or Minty Voice.
Yeah, the discard is not part of the cost. It's just part of the effect.
So there's Kalen. But Wizzerinus does have Valdez down. But Kalen can just pick up stuff to turn off Valdez. So not a good matchup. Oh, Toddy again. Yeah, that's unfortunate for Scribble. Because Toddy's going to be able to gum up the board.
Well, Scribble has a nice blocker in Maddening Inferno that lets you draw 2 cards when it leaves. It can't be Pith Wilted because it can be Pith Wilted, but again, you're gonna draw 2 cards when the card leaves.
Yeah.
Gonna play this next Terraformers Globe. It looks like
not the next. It's still the same Terraformers Globe. They just returned it with Kalen, and they got Drawing going with that.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh, Dawson. I think the game's
Dawson
over.
On the top. Yeah. You Terraformers Globe the Wayfarer's Shrine, make it a mountain, cast Dawson, sack a Terraformers Globe, pop Valdez, gain 3 life. And now you outrace the pair of Maddening Infernos.
Well, I mean, on the bright side, at least Scribble has another Valdez, so it's going to be a Valdez heavy game. Oh wait, you can.
Yeah, here's attacks. You attack first. That's fine.
So Scribble finally gets to sack the Madden Inferno.
Yeah.
Right? Do they want to double block?
It's really because you can't put the Maddening Inferno in front of the Dunhill Forge Master because then you pick it up to Kalen, and the Maddening Inferno doesn't die.
Right.
But that means you have to trade Valdez into the Dunhill Forge Master.
Okay, so this Wizzerinus decides to pick up stuff with Kalen right now.
Yeah. Well, it does mean Kalen stays on the board because it gets the +2/+2. Valdez dies. That's really unfortunate. And one of them being a Shardstone Rift means more life to pay.
Well, it doesn't mean anything because Scribble probably isn't going to be alive to play it.
Yeah. Second main. Yep, 3 mana.
Actually, you can just Dawson face, right?
Yep, Dawson. I guess you sack the Death Pit trophy.
I mean, yeah, of course you do. Unless you want to start doing Kalen shenanigans with Death Pit trophy, but
that's probably not the time.
Yeah.
You sack Death Pit trophy, deal 3 damage to Scribble.
And then next turn you have lethal.
You're at 10 life. Yeah, next turn you have lethal because you just do it again with the Terraformers Globe. You've got another Terraformers Globe in hand in case Scribble pulls the Skirmisher off the top.
Yeah.
Now, of course, Wiz doesn't know that Scribble doesn't have a Skirmisher. Scribble having just drawn 2 cards, these could be anything.
I mean, even if they pull a Skirmisher off the top, then you still have Terraformers Globe in hand, so...
Yeah, for sure, but...
So you still have lethal.
Yeah. It's just a question, does Scribble have anything else that could potentially be beneficial right now?
Is there anything that... I mean, does Scribble have any life gain in the main deck?
No, Scribble... Scribble doesn't have any life gain in the entirety of the deck.
And do they have
except for Profane Emissary, which doesn't count because it's not fast enough.
Right. And do they have anything that can kill Dawson at all from an empty board? Or, I mean, I guess it's not an empty board. They have Mad Inferno, so I guess Fiery Temper kills Dawson if they really want to. In fact, they can attack Dawson and discard Fiery Temper to it, and then smack it with the discard Fiery Temper.
Yeah. But that's just too many resources that you just don't have. Yeah.
Yep.
There goes the cleanup step. Scribble gets to draw one more card. Dusk Lieutenant
I mean, at least it's a 3-drop.
Is a 3-drop, but Scribble's just going to pick it up. Not quite enough.
They're not even going to play their second Valdez to make it Pro Tour Valdez. I mean, GP Valdez.
GP Valdez. I mean, there is enough Valdez.
I wonder how many games have
Very
ended
good.
with Valdez floating in exile.
Probably a good few. Valdez is a very good card.
Yeah.
Being able to both to gain hand information and maybe not be able to remove anything from the hand with that information, but still know what's in your hand, and then later on come down as a very efficient creature.
Exactly.
Wraps Valdez into one very nice little package.
So anyways, so this was a question on the top 8 profile, but since you didn't make it to the top 8, I guess I'll ask you here. If you play pinch pennies against someone with only one card in hand, do you name high or low?
I name low.
I see. So I guess you do the same thing as. Actually, let me check the profile.
Always hit your opponents where they're lowest.
Yeah, exactly.
In reality, there is actually situations where you still want to think about that, just in case. For example, if your opponent's playing any amount of cards that could draw more than one at instant speed.
Well, no, it doesn't matter because you name on resolution.
Oh, true. Yeah,
so there has to be some sort of weird replacement effect for that to actually matter. But yeah, so Wizzerinus takes the GP, and is that the first time they've won a GP so far?
I don't know.
Oh, I guess we won't find out in this video because we're probably ending it here.
Time for everybody to go to sleep.
Yep.